Hello, class 11. Here I am going to start next chapter, Discovering Tut, from your Hornbill English textbook. Dear children, in the previous video, you have come to know the chapter Discovering Tut. The saga continues, deals with the life and the mysteries of the great Egyptian pharaoh, that is Tutankhamun. His mummy was first discovered by the British archaeologist Howard Carter. He did it in the year 1922, but he had to face many difficulties in extracting the money out of the coffin. He even had to put the mummy under the scorching beat of the sun, but still everything was useless. Let's see what Carter would do to extract the mummy out of the coffin. In his defense, Carter really had little choice. Little choice means no choice. If he had not cut the mummy free, thieves most certainly would have circumvented the guards and ripped it apart to remove the gold. Circumvented, that means to find a way around or to avoid. Ripped it apart, that means to cut or tear away. In his defense, Carter has written the note that he had no choice left than to cut the mummy. He believed if he had not done that, the thieves would have removed the gold from the tomb by cutting the mummy into many pieces to separate the gold from it. In Tut's time, the royals were fabulously wealthy and they thought or hoped they could take their riches with them. Fabulously wealthy, that means extremely rich. During the time of the King Tut, the royal people, that means the kings, they were extremely rich and they had a belief that after death they could take their wealth along with them. For his journey to the great beyond, King Tut was lavished with glittering goods, precious collars, inlaid necklaces and bracelets, rings, amulets, a ceremonial apron, sandals, sheaths for his fingers and toes, and now iconic inner coffin and mask, all of pure gold. Lavished means given generously. Glittering goods means precious ornaments like gold, precious collars. So these are the costly collars worn around the neck of a shirt or coat. Amulets. So these are the ornaments worn to have protection against the evil. Sheaths. These are the close-fitting covers. Iconic means a person or a thing which is a symbol of importance. As the people of the ancient Egypt civilization had faith in the afterlife, so they used to bury all the precious items for the use of their royal kings. That's why. So they had decorated and given the precious collars, necklaces with decorative patterns, bracelets, rings, amulets, ceremonials, aprons, sandals, sheaths for the fingers, that means the covers even for the fingers and the toes of the Tut. And now this iconic in a coffin and a mask has become the history. With this belief, the King Tut was buried with grand fortune during his burial time. To separate Tut from his adornment, Carter's men removed the mummy's head and severed nearly every major joint. Adornments means decoration or ornaments of King Tut. Severely, that means cut off very badly. Here it is explained to separate Tut from all the decoration. Carter's men, they had to first remove his head and then they had to cut off nearly all the major joints of his body. In this way, they were able to separate all the decoration from this mummy. Once they had finished, they reassembled the remains on a layer of a sand in a wooden box with padding that concealed the damage. The bed where Tut now dressed, padding, that is the soft material used for binding, conceal, that means hide. After completing the process, Carter's men reassembled the remains of the mummy in a wooden box by padding it and filling it with a layer of sand and hence tried to hide the damage done to it. Now, King Tut's mummy is resting at its new place. In his defense, Carter really had little choice. Little choice means no choice. If he had not cut the mummy free, thieves most certainly would have circumvented the guards and ripped it apart to remove the gold. Circumvented, that means to find a way around or to avoid. Ripped it apart, that means to cut or tear away. In his defense, Carter has written the note that he had no choice left than to cut the mummy. He believed if he had not done that, the thieves would have removed the gold from the tomb by cutting the mummy into many pieces to separate the gold from it. In Tut's time, the royals were fabulously wealthy and they thought or hoped they could take their riches with them. Fabulously wealthy, that means extremely rich. During the time of the King Tut, the royal people, that means the kings, they were extremely rich and they had a belief that after death they could take their wealth along with them. For his journey to the great beyond, King Tut was lavished with glittering goods, precious collars, inlaid necklaces and bracelets, rings, amulets, a ceremonial apron, sandals, sheaths for his fingers and toes, and now iconic enamel coffin and mask, all of pure gold. Lavished means given generously. Glittering goods means precious ornaments like gold, precious collars. So these are the costly collars worn around the neck of a shirt or coat. Amulets. So these are the ornaments worn to have protection against the evil. Sheaths. These are the close-fitting covers. Iconic means a person or a thing which is a symbol of importance. As the people of the ancient Egypt civilization had faith in the afterlife, so they used to bury all the precious items for the use of their royal kings. That's why. So they had decorated and given the precious collars, necklaces with decorative patterns, bracelets, rings, amulets, ceremonials, aprons, sandals, sheaths for the fingers, that means the covers even for the fingers and the toes of the Tut. And now this iconic in a coffin and a mask has become the history. With this belief, the King Tut was buried with grand fortune during his burial time. To separate Tut from his adornment, craftsmen removed the mummy's head and severed nearly every major joint. Adornments means decoration or ornaments of King Tut. Severely, that means cut off very badly. Here it is explained to separate Tut from all the decoration. Craftsmen, they had to first remove his head and then they had to cut off nearly all the major joints of his body. In this way, they were able to separate all the decoration from this mummy. Once they had finished, they reassembled the remains on a layer of a sand in a wooden box with padding that concealed the damage. The bed where Tut now dressed, padding, that is the soft material used for binding, conceal, that means hide. After completing the process, Carter's men reassembled the remains of the mummy in a wooden box by padding it and filling it with a layer of sand and hence tried to hide the damage done to it. Now, King Tut's mummy is resting at its new place. Archaeology has changed substantially in the intervening decades, focusing less on treasure and more on the fascinating details of life and intriguing mysteries of death. It also uses more sophisticated tools, including medical technology. Archaeology is the science of studying ancient sites or monuments, intervening, that means to occur in the time between events, intriguing, that means interesting, being unusual or uncommon. So here it is said, in the past few decades, archaeology has changed its subject. It now focuses less on the wealth but more on the fascinating details of life and interesting mysteries about the deaths. It also uses more sophisticated tools, including medical technology. Sophisticated, that means the thing that is refined but complicated in use. So it is explained. Now it uses more advanced medical technologies and complicated tools for completing its research. In 1968, more than 40 years after Carter's discovery, an anatomy professor x-rayed the mummy and revealed a startling fact. Beneath the resin that cakes his chest, his breastbone and front ribs are missing. Anatomy Anatomy is the branch of science which studies a human structure. Startling means shocking or surprising. Here it is mentioned that in the year 1968, it was a time just after 40 years of Carter's discovery. An anatomy professor, he x-rayed King Tut's mummy and brought out the surprising and shocking fact. He said that the raisins that were binding his chest, under this his breastbones and front ribs were found missing. So that was surprising fact to the world. What mistakes Carter did during his first discovery of the King Tut. Today, diagnostic imaging can be done with computed tomography or CT, by which hundreds of X-rays in cross-section are put together like slices of bread to create a three-dimensional virtual body. Diagnostic term is connected with identifying illness. Computed tomography, it is well known to all. It is also called CT scan. It is a three-dimensional scan of the body with the help of hundreds of X-rays in cross-section together. Virtual body, that means made to appear somebody to exist by the use of computer softwares. Here the writer describes that with the advancement of technology, CT scan or computer tomography can give the virtual image of the whole body. Now, hundreds of X-rays in cross-section can be taken together with the CT scan, and thus virtual image of the body can be created. What more would a CT scan reveal of Tut than X-ray, and could it answer two of the biggest questions still lingering about him? How did he die and how old was he at the time of his death? Lingering means delayed. Hence, in the modern world, CT scan can reveal the more facts about this ancient pharaoh than the X-ray machine. Hence, this machine, that is CT scan, is able to answer the lingering questions about King Tut, that how he died and how old was he at the time of his death. King Tut's demise was a big event even by royal standards. He was the last of his family line, and his funeral was the death rattle of a dynasty. But the particulars of his passing away and its aftermath are unclear. Demise means death, and death rattle, that means a low-pitched gurgling sound made sometimes by a dying man. But here it means the first thing, that is a sign that very soon is making to end something. So here it is said that the death of this great king, it was the big event even by the royal standard of the ancient Egyptian civilization. He was the last successor of his family line, and his funeral indicated the diminishment of his great dynasty. However, what happened after his death is still not. The new pharaoh promoted the worship of Aten, the sun disk, changed his name to Akhenaten, or servant of the Aten, and moved the religious capital from the old city of Thebes to the new city of Akhetaten, known now as Amarna. This newly formed king, that is Amenhotep IV, he promoted or started the worship of Aten, that means the sun disk, in the country. He also changed his name to Akhenaten, that means the servant of the Aten. He also did shifting of the religious capital of the country from Thebes to the new city of Akhenaten, that is today known as Amarna. He further shocked the country by attacking Amun, a major god, smashing his images and closing his temples. Smashing means breaking. Further, he attacked the Amun, the major god of the country, and also broke his images and closed all the temples where this god was worshipped. It must have been a horrific time, said Ray Johnson, director of University of Chicago's Research Center in Luxor, the site of ancient Thebes. The family that had ruled for centuries was coming to an end, and then Akhenaten went a little wacky. Wacky means funny or amusing, something done in a slight odd or strange way. About this whole event, Ray Johnson, the director of University of Chicago, had commented that it must have been the horrible and the bad time when this king had ruled in the ancient Egypt. And the family line who ruled for so many centuries, it came to an end due to the strange and horrible ways this king had moved on in the old Egypt. After Akhenaten's death, a mysterious ruler named Samenkhare appeared briefly and exited with hardly a trace. And then a very young Tutankhaten took the throne, King Tut, as he is widely known today. The boy king soon changed his name to Tutankhamun, the living image of Amun, and oversaw a restoration of the old ways. He reigned for about 9 years and then he died unexpectedly. Mysterious means suspicious or there is doubt about the identity of someone. Exited, that means departed. Trace means mark. Restoration, that means re-establishment. Reign means ruled. Then it is mentioned here, after the death of Akhenaten, another mysterious ruler with the name Samenkhare, he succeeded him and he ruled for a short period. But he also disappeared from the ancient Egypt without leaving any mark. Next to him, the very young Tutankhaten, he got the kingdom, who is today widely known as the King Tut. The boy king, he re-established the old tradition back in the country. He changed his name to Tutankhamun, that means the living image of the god Amun. He started worshipping this god in the country just like the old ancient Egyptian civilization. He ruled round about 9 years in the country. However, he died again mysteriously. That is mystery to the world. Regardless of his fame and speculation about his fate, that is one mummy among many in Egypt. How many? No one knows. The Egyptian Mummy Project, which began an inventory in late 2003, has recorded almost 600 so far and is still counting. Speculations means guesses and inventory, that means the list. Apart from all the popularity and the guesses about the fate of this great king, the King Tut mummy is one among many which are buried in Egypt. There are how many? No one has the idea. Even the Egyptian Mummy Project, which started in the year 2003, it has released an inventory list in which they had recorded almost 600 so far buried there in the pyramids, but still the counting is going on. The next phase, scanning the mummies with a portable CT machine donated by the National Geographic Society, and seems its manufacturer King Tut is one of the first mummies to be scanned in death as in life, moving regally ahead of his countrymen. Portable means movable and regally, that means royally. So here it is mentioned that in the next phase, when his body was rediscovered, the archaeologist Zahi Hawass and his team, they scanned his mummy under the portable CT machine, which was donated by the National Geographic Society and Siemens, and thus King Tut's mummy, it becomes one of the first mummies to be scanned after his death and about his life, which moved above the royal standard just like his country people. His CT machine scanned the mummy head to toe, creating 1700 digital X-ray images in cross-section. Tut's head scanned in 0.62 millimeter slices to register its intricate structures, takes on eerie detail in the resulting image. Intricate means complex, eerie detail, that means strange details and information. The CT scan machine scanned the Tut's body by creating 1700 digital X-rays in cross sections. Tut's body was scanned from head to toe. The machine scanned his head in 0.62 millimeter slices to record even the tiny and minute detail of his body parts. With Tut's entire body similarly recorded, a team of specialists in radiology, forensics, and anatomy began to probe the secrets that winged goddesses of gilded burial shrine protected for so long. Forensic already told you the meaning. This is the application of the scientific method of investigating a crime. Anatomy, again, that means the branch of science which deals with the human structure. Burial, that means dead. Shrine, that means temple or holy. Hence, the team of radiology, forensics, and anatomy experts, they started now examining the King Tut's whole body. They were in the search of the secrets of this great king that was so long protected by the winged goddess of the golden burial temple of the great Egypt. The night of the scan, workmen carried Tut from the tomb in his box like pallbearers. They climbed a ramp and a flight of stairs into the swirling sand outside, then rose on a hydraulic lift into the trailer that held the scanner. Ramp means slope. Pallbearers, the persons who help to escort a coffin at the funeral. Swirling, that means to spin or twist. Hydraulic lift, that is a lift that uses a machine to lift or move heavy objects with pressure. During the night, the workmen climbed up on the ramp and the flight of stairs to carry the body from the tomb into the spinning sand outside. They rose the Tut's body onto a hydraulic lift. Then they put it into the trailer where the scanner was kept. 20 minutes later, two men emerged, sprinted on an office nearby, and returned with a pair of white plastic fans. The $1 million scanner had quit because of a sand in a cooler fan. Curse of the Pharaoh, joked the guard nervously. Sprint means to run with a high or fast speed. Quit means stop working. Just 20 minutes after the start of their work, eventually the substitute fans worked well enough to finish the procedure. After checking that no data has been lost, the technician turned Tut over to the workman who carried him back to his tomb. Within a short time, these substitute fans, they worked and the procedure was finished. But it was good. When they checked the data, there was no loss of any record. And thus, the technician returned the body to the pall bearers who carried the King Tut back to his tomb. Less than 3 hours after he was removed from his coffin, the pharaoh again rested in peace where the funerary priest had led him so long ago. Hence, within the time span of less than 3 hours, the King Tut was back again in his resting place where the funerary priest had led him many centuries ago. Back in the trailer, a technician pulled up astonishing images of Tut on a computer screen. A grey head took shape from a scattering of pixels, and the technicians spun and tilted it in every direction. Astonishing means surprising. Scattering, that means small dispersed amount of something. So here it is mentioned that back in the trailer, which was holding the CT scan machine, so there the technician, he had clicked the surprising images of the King Tut on the computer screen. By scattering the pixels, a grey head of the King Tut had appeared, and then the technician spun this all around and tried to see and observe his head in all directions. Neck vertebra appeared as clearly as in anatomy class. Other images revealed a hand, several views of the rib cage and transection of the skull. But for now, the pressure was off. Vertebra is the series of small bones which form the backbone. The neck vertebra of the mummy was as clear, just as shown in the anatomy classes, and the other images like hand, ribcage, and transection of the skull were also clearly visible on the computer screen. As the work was complete, the pressure was finally off. Sitting back in his chair, Saihaba smiled, visibly relieved that nothing had gone seriously wrong. I didn't sleep last night. Not for a second, he said. I was so worried, but now I think I will go and sleep. Thus, to see his pressure off, Zahia was now sitting in his chair. He smiled and said that he was now quite relieved because nothing had gone wrong with the mummy of the King Tut. He had not slept the previous night, and now, as the work was done, he could now go and sleep. He is not at all worried now. By the time we left the trailer, descending metal stairs to the sandy ground, the wind had stopped. The winter air lay cold and still, like death itself, in this valley of departed. Here, it is said that after being satisfied and completing the process of the CT scanning of King Tut's mummy, now the technician, they left the trailer. They also descend the metal stairs on the sandy ground there. This moment, the wind had stopped, and the winter air, which was blowing otherwise, it was also very chilled and still, like the death itself in this valley of the departed souls. Just above the entrance to Tut's tomb stood Orion, the constellation that the ancient Egyptian knew as the soul of Osiris, the god of afterlife, watching over the boy king. However, while the team of Zahi Hawass, they were going to leave this tomb of King Tut, they found just above them was standing the constellation of the stars. As according to the ancient Egyptian, there lived the soul of Osiris, that is believed the god of death in their country. So they found and observed that the soul of the Osiris, this god, was watching over the boy king. That means they felt that mummy was once again under the protection of the god of afterlife while keeping it back there. Hence, we come to know from this discovery of Zahi Hawass not only the facts and the mysteries about the life and the death of this great ancient Egypt pharaoh, but also we come to know about the ancient culture of Egypt. I hope all of you have understood the explanation. Thank you for watching the video.